When Jeff Bezos and Mackenzie Scott tied the knot in 1993, few could have guessed just how far their ambition would take them. The couple started out like any other, working side by side, united by big dreams and relentless determination. In those early days, Amazon was nothing more than a wild idea, one that would eventually grow from a humble Seattle garage into a global powerhouse. For over 2 decades, Jeff and Mackenzie seemed inseparable, the picture of partnership both at home and in business. Their journey from newlyweds to billionaires was nothing short of extraordinary, filled with late nights, risk-taking, and teamwork. To the outside world, theirs was a storybook marriage built on mutual support and shared success. But while the world watched Amazon soar, few noticed the silent cracks forming beneath the surface. Behind the scenes, a very different story was unfolding, a story that would one day explode into headlines and shock millions. What really happened to one of America's most powerful couples? Let us know your initial reaction to this stunning story in the comments below. In the beginning, Jeff and Mackenzie's bond was more than just romantic, it was a true partnership in every sense. Mackenzie wasn't just a supportive spouse, she was right there in the trenches, helping to write Amazon's first business plan and joining as one of the company's earliest employees. Together, they braved uncertainty, fueled by a shared vision that most people thought was crazy at the time. But as Amazon grew and the millions turned into billions, there was one shocking decision that set their story apart. Jeff and Mackenzie, married without a prenuptial agreement. For a couple taking on enormous risk and building unprecedented wealth, this move was almost unheard of. It was a pact based on trust. But it would have major consequences later on. That one detail, no prenup, would become a headline-grabbing twist when their marriage ended. Suddenly, the stakes were higher than anyone could have imagined. What started as a symbol of faith between two dreamers would become a legal and financial shock felt around the world. Little did anyone know, the seeds of drama were sown from the very beginning. When the news of Jeff and Mackenzie's divorce finally broke in 2019, the world was stunned not just by the split, but by the calm, almost business-like way it was announced. Their joint statements spoke of mutual respect, trial separations, and an ongoing friendship. On the surface, it all sounded amicable and controlled, but beneath that polished front, a storm was brewing that would shake the public's faith in one of America's most admired power couples. Just days before their official announcement, the National Enquirer sent shockwaves through the media by revealing Bezos' secret relationship with former news anchor Lauren Sanchez. Details emerged that seemed pulled straight from a tabloid thriller: private jets, cross-country rendezvous, and intimate text messages that left no doubt about the affair. The most jaw-dropping twist: the leaks reportedly came from Sanchez's own brother, who had been quietly feeding information to the press for months. As the revelations hit the headlines, the story transformed from a simple celebrity divorce into a full-blown scandal. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. Jeff Bezos was no longer just a tech visionary, but the center of a sensational and messy breakup. For fans and followers, it was hard to tell what was more shocking, the affair itself, or just how quickly secrets can become front-page news. As the affair became public, reactions from all sides were swift and intense. The media coverage was relentless, and social media lit up with disbelief, criticism, and speculation about what really happened behind closed doors. Many Amazon employees, who once saw Bezos as almost untouchable, were left stunned and disappointed. Their famously private CEO suddenly found himself at the center of a very public and deeply personal controversy. It wasn't just Bezos' reputation on the line. Lauren Sanchez, too, was thrown into the spotlight. She was still married at the time the news broke, and soon, both her marriage to Hollywood agent Patrick Whitesell and Bezos' marriage to Mackenzie ended almost simultaneously. This timing only fueled more rumors and suspicions, as both couples finalized their divorces in the same year. For many observers, the speed and overlap of these events raised even more questions. The scandal didn't stop with tabloid headlines. Authors and insiders, including Brad Stone in his book Amazon Unbound, confirmed the affair and described how it rattled Amazon's upper ranks. Suddenly, Bezos' every move was scrutinized, from his newfound fascination with helicopters, a passion inspired by Sanchez, to his shifting public image. It was a shock to see such an iconic figure brought down to earth by a personal decision that no one saw coming. With the dust barely settled on the divorce, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez wasted no time stepping into a new spotlight, this time as an engaged couple planning a wedding unlike anything the world had seen. Their lavish celebration in Venice, Italy, was headline news even before the first guest arrived. The sheer scale was staggering. A guest list packed with celebrities and billionaires. Bezos' superyacht docked in the harbor, and a budget, reportedly surpassing $50 million. But what truly set the internet ablaze wasn't just the extravagance, but the bizarre design of the wedding invitations. Instead of opulence, guests received cards that looked more like a middle school art project covered in butterflies, birds, and pastel colors. Social media erupted with mockery, with critics declaring, "Money can't buy taste." While the design was a laughingstock, the couples gestured to make donations to Venice's cultural restoration projects at least offered a touch of grace. The backlash didn't end online. Activists, angry over the wedding's extravagance amid growing global inequality, threatened protests and even staged attention-grabbing demonstrations in Venice. Local landmarks saw mock Bezos mannequins floating down the Grand Canal, and last-minute security changes were made to avoid disruptions. For all their power and wealth, Bezos and Sanchez found themselves at the center of a different kind of drama, one that money couldn't simply make disappear. The fallout from Jeff Bezos' personal life has left a permanent mark not just on his reputation, but on how the world views power, relationships, and wealth. With headlines still buzzing and critics still watching, it's clear the drama is far from over. The shocking twists and public controversies have shown that even the world's richest man isn't immune to scandal or scrutiny. But if history has taught us anything, it's that the story rarely ends where we expect. With Bezos and Sanchez now married and the world watching their every move, there's no telling what new revelations or bombshells could be just around the corner. For now, their saga remains one of the most talked about celebrity tales of our time. So, do you think this is the last chapter in Jeff Bezos' astonishing story? Or is there even more to come? Share your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for the next bombshell, because, in the world of billionaires, surprises never seem to end.